How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Honor of Kings video. This is going to be the video of the Conan, Detective Conan collaboration with Honor of Kings that released literally 2 days ago. You really should be picking this skin because the skin graphics, everything like that is pretty cool. Obviously, we don't have the second skin just yet. That does come out around about, I think it's the 7th or the 8th of August anyway, but I'm going to be showing you the Luban Conan Detective skin. So let's get into it. So this is just a match, obviously, that I played previously, but again, it's just so I can show you guys the graphics effects of this skin because it is pretty darn amazing. As you can see here, I'm playing with quite a few of my friends within my community. You can see Asmo, you can see Bean, or Ben as we know him, Hamps, and also we have Habibi on the team as well, which I was flaming him a little bit, right? Because he prio picked the Prince of Landling. So first pick, Prince of Landling, and then obviously the enemy team can really kind of try and counter that anyway because they have quite a lot of obviously CC come through as well. He didn't do too great at the beginning part of the game, but towards the end obviously did do pretty well. But we're going to be focusing on me here, right? We're going to be focusing on me. As you can see here, you can see the skin. That's obviously the passive effect for the skin here as well. Lots of nice effects. I mean, honestly, the ultimate effect is definitely one of the best ones. Obviously, I won't spoil that just yet, but you'll get to see it very, very soon as obviously we get to level 4. But I thought I would do this on a gameplay rather than kind of do a gotcha like, hey, how long does it take or how much coins does it take here to get this skin? But this one, a little bit more just going to be a showcasing of the skin itself. Unfortunately, we did get first blooded there, but don't worry, guys. We'll be getting them back very soon. We'll be getting them back very soon. As you can see, there's the first skill being procced onto the consort U. She misses out her oak bolt as well, and we are able to just try and get a little bit more of damage onto her. Now we can see the Prince of Landling come through as well. The silence does come through, but this is what I mean. He played the Prince of Landling a little bit too aggressive with that one. Didn't quite get the combo that he needed. In terms of gotcha, in terms of the actual amount that I put in for this skin, I think I got loaded onto my account around about 4,000 tokens. Here it is. There's that double kill. Oh, baby. Double kill for your boy Blam. Paying back that first blood we had earlier. And obviously, you may have just saw that there. The ultimate graphics effect as you see the helicopter come down as well. You'll see it many times within this match, but don't worry about it, guys. Do not worry about it. The most annoying thing about this match is actually we did lose from a few kind of like misplays with my team here. I think this was actually the first game we played together. It was a full 5-man. We played together. I don't normally like playing in a 5 queue because the enemy team sometimes you come across can be absolute monsters, but yesterday, the session was actually too bad. I think we actually won more than we actually lost, to be honest. I think I got to about Grandmaster 9 stars overall from Grandmaster 1 or something like that. But so, we played one where we were 3Q. So, it was me, Habibi, and Bean. We got the dub there. I was Darchie, 10-4-9. Holler at me. And obviously, got MVP loss on both of those games, so I didn't really lose too much. But then we got win, something like that. So but there's the ultimate being dropped down again there. They did get me, unfortunately, with the oak bolt. I just lost a little bit too much life. A bit of a dive here from Bean. A bit of a dive from Bean with the death on Sunset. But he commits a little bit too much here. Dion Way, to be honest. I mean, yes, he's prioritizing his Azure Golem, but if he came around, he's on 2.5. The enemy team's almost on 4K. So there was already kind of like a bridging gap there, or a gap that was already kind of becoming very apparent to the team. That it meant that obviously we have to pick up the slack of the jungle there because he has been getting picked off quite a few times. But his justification of this pick was, hey, it's better than the enemy team getting it. But I'm like, bro, prio blue pick of the Prince of Landling is not great. And to be honest, are the enemy team going to go for it? 9 times out of 10, probably not. Because, again, your Prince of Landling generally comes through towards the latter part of the composition there, just to kind of like round off. Because if you prio pick it, and then the enemy team just take a lot of CC, you're kind of screwed, right? Like, yes, he gets the silence, but if you can get the cleanse and stuff like that, like, obviously, he picked the consort U, he picked the Prince of Landling, sorry, and then obviously consort U came through, obviously having that physical immunity from her second skill. You have the slow and the knock-up from the Flowborn Mage variant as well. You also have the slow from the Dion Way, as well as burst damage, which is one of, obviously, the big counters to Prince of Landling. Is just having great burst damage, because 1 second is there, the next is gone. Just like I was there against the Dion Way. We were able to get a kill, but then, obviously, we died again. Just putting pressure on my lane. Mid lane not looking too healthy there, to be honest. Almost pretty much holding on. Bean was able to get that top side of the map kill as well as the T1 turret. So really putting in the work there, Bean. Really putting in the work there. But we're now bot side of the map again. 3 on 2. Trot finally gets a double kill. I believe that is 3 kills onto the board for my jungle here. But look at this. Look at this. Yes, he can't go for it. He kind of detected in the brush that he was going to come in by, but... There we go. We get the stun. This is the good thing about having the Darchi here as well. Just giving you enough kind of leeway. There's that ultimate graphics, if you can see there, guys. Just hovering over. I feel like that's probably like one of the coolest parts of this skin is that graphic there. Just having that helicopter to spin around. It's pretty cool. But let me know, guys, if you have picked up this skin. What do you think? How much did it cost you guys? Did you roll it? Or were you able to actually... just be unlucky like I was and roll the tokens, and that's unfortunate for all of us, but hey, some of us are going to be the losers within these gacha events, right? But look, we do lose bot side of the map here as well. Obviously, we're trying to focus mid lane. We get the T1 in the mid. I'd rather sacrifice this for that and then almost get that T2 as well. They get the kill onto the Darchi, however, we get the kill onto the Ming. I don't feel like this Ukiyo Tachibana is actually that good, right? Like, Death on Sunset into the back line just basically makes him just run away like a scaredy cat. But then you just have the Dion Wei just charges through. Here's me just trying to save Hams's life, and he just goes there. Just too much burst damage, too much healing potential there from the enemy team. It was pretty much kind of like he was dead. I was just trying to do enough damage, maybe try and get Bean to come through with the execute, but not enough damage. Not enough damage. In terms of itemization, you can see here, I did rush the Eternity Blade, just trying to go for a little bit more of a expensive build here. Go for the attack speed boot second, and then Shadow Reaper afterwards. Just to get a lot of crit, a lot of damage come through. Because I feel like with my team, obviously me and Darchi are going to be the main damage output here. 1v1, obviously... Prince of Landling can be decent, but the fact is he's just kind of like trading a kill for a death, you know? Like, there's no real positive there. He's kind of just going in, dying 1v1. Going in, dying 1v1. Rather than going in, picking off, getting out, and then we get some more. So, he got an earful from me. He got an earful from me in-game. I was just like, bro, come on. There's better picks out there. You don't need to go for the Prince of Landling. Towards the end, he did shine, but... yeah, it was... a few bad calls, which you'll see, obviously, towards the latter part of the game. But with the whole enemy team being here, I thought, why not take this opportunity to go for this T2, put some pressure onto the bot side of the map, because they're already creating the pressure into the mid lane as well here. They already took my T1. As you can see, the enemy team were trying to rotate here. Obviously, in-game, I was under the assumption that Dion Wei was actually going to just rush me. But if I knew that, I probably would have been able to do a lot more damage to that T1, but that T3, sorry. But I think it's good that I got out of there because Consort U, Flowborn is there as well. If they come through, found me in that bush just a second later, I would have been dead. But let's check what goes on here. Obviously, we're getting into that 10-minute mark as well. So obviously, neutral objectives coming up. My jungler, for some reason, likes to go for the Shadow Overlord, even though we kind of need the damage coming through here, especially with the likes of the Dion Wei, with Ming's heal as well. It's very important for us to get that. Bean just going for the top side of the map, just getting pressure on there. Again, just creating pressure into these side lanes. You can see the Flowborn Marksman, Yukio, or both rotating upwards. He does have his ultimate, so if needs be, he could get out and like that. But, man, Yukio, if he actually rotated with Flowborn Marksman, they probably would have got the kill. Flowborn Mage, sorry, they would have got the kill there onto my Clash lane. But silly gooses get silly prizes, right? Here's me trying to do a lot of damage onto the Yukio. I have built the Mortal Punisher to obviously just get down that HP regen. We get the triple kill here, babies. Woo! We get in loads of kills. This is where I kind of thought, man, this is the win. This is the win. First game, Conan, Detective Conan skin. We're going to get the dub here. But... some bad decisions come through. Teammates make some silly mistakes. Me too, make some silly mistakes as well. But hey, 8-3-3 so far with the KDA. I can't complain. I cannot complain with that one. We did pretty well with this. I think I do decide to build into... I think it's a Siege Breaker or the Doomsday, I think it is the next item. Just to get a lot more like attack damage come through. Only dying 3 times. I don't feel like I need the kind of defensive items. We don't really see the enemy team trying to like dive me into the back line per se. Which generally happens when you're a Lubum, right? Like you get a lot of people that just try and dive onto you. But I feel like the only real dive potential there is if Consort U is feeling confident enough to get, obviously, the vaulting shot to kind of lock me down. You've also got the Dion Wei with the Leap of Fury, who is now dead. We got the kill there. He goes down again, which is another troublesome part for his team. But fortunately for him, Yukio and the Consort U go for the Shadow Overlord to put some pressure into one of these lanes. We are obviously trying to usher through these minions into the mid lane. I believe they do wipe it out, and I don't think they drop it just yet. The Vanguard, they haven't dropped it just yet. He still has it. We're trying to get these enhanced minions through to the base here. But 933 KDA, not too bad. We'll get another kill there for Bean into the back line. He doesn't trade his life just yet. Honestly, I thought here would be where we finish, but we just did not have the minion come through. Dion Wei's back up onto the map, and it's only Ming down. So really, that's where the optimal damage output, especially in terms of his obviously enhanced in damage output and damage reduction onto your team, wasn't really going to be troubling us for the next 15 seconds, but we just didn't have the wave management. We couldn't finish the game there. So if we probably managed the wave a little bit better, we probably would have won that one. But yeah, as you can see, we got the Siege Breaker there as well. So Siege Breaker, 4th item, and then I believe it is the Doomsday I do build towards the end there, just to get that enhanced basic attack damage come through. Just keep lobbing those skill 2s, man. Skill 2s, just lobbing those rockets. A good point for those that have probably never played Luban. If you're scared of using those rockets, don't be, because obviously the refresh is not that bad, and also it's great for gathering intel. So if you know the enemy team's like Azure Golem's up, you know you can kind of just like, I don't know why I flashed there. I think it's like just try and maybe close the gap, maybe try and keep the Dion Wei into position here. But enemy team playing the wave control a little bit better here. They obviously have the Vanguards into the top side of the map. We're trying to fight down bot side here. Nobody's really retreating. Everybody's just kind of out for blood. You can see the Vanguards here. I feel like this is where the first mistake really came through, because I believe it is here that they actually do take the high ground turret. We've just lost 3 members, just being completely over-aggressive here. So losing 3 members, losing a high ground turret was definitely the first mistake into how we lost this game, because they've now got some great pressure into that top side of the map, which we have no pressure at all. They still got their T2s. They're damaging our crystal. We have to go back and defend. So if my teammates didn't actually be so greedy in that part, that little segment there, that team fight, just trying to hopefully get that team wipe and then go for the crystal, they could have gone back, cleared out the Vanguards. We'd still have the T3s. We'd still have that kind of neutralizing effect into the top side of the map, and then we could just go back from that point. Because I mean, if you look at the gold difference as well between my team and the enemy team, it's literally 100 gold at this point in the game. We're at about 15 minutes, which getting towards the latter part of the game isn't going to make that much difference, because most people are going to be itemized in that regards. Like if you see here, I'm 11k to Consort U's 9.9. However, the jungle is still kind of, that's where the main difference is. You see, is the Prince of Landling and the Dion Wei, right? Like 12k to 9k is a huge disparity. He's pretty much 6 slotted in terms of his itemization. My jungler, however, has got jungle item, 2 items built, and that's it. So that's where we kind of, this is where it really starts to collapse here. I just have to try and do my best at defending my base, because that's all I've really got, right? Like I can't overextend, because mid lane is already looking pretty damaged. The top side of the map is gone. Minion wave coming through here. I can't really stop this, as I can only do as much as possible. As you can see, trying to dive onto the backside. I do use my flash to get out of there. Bean does go down, however. Unfortunately, I do feel like we actually do hold off this base attack, though. We to get the touchdown onto the Yukio. They try and get the kill onto me, either using the Flowborn and the Consort U. We wipe out the minions. I get the kill onto the Dion Wei. But now the enemy team give us a little bit of a breather. But it's only me and the Dolly are alive, and the base is at very little health. So right now, we can't really push. We can't go for those neutral objectives because we don't have the minions to push. We don't have the privilege of having our base very healthy and having those 2 T3s alive. So we kind of just had a bit of a stalemate here. Just kind of trying to get, like, do the best with what we were dealt there. Obviously, we're able to get rid of, like, 4 or 5 of the enemy team. So I think, you know what, as we've got the minion waves pushed in top side and mid, I'm going to go for the Overlord. Because if there's one thing that Luban number 7 is great at as well, is taking the neutral objectives into the late part of the game. He just does so much damage and does it very quickly. Very, very quickly. So if you're looking for kind of like a marksman that is not the most agile, but definitely gives over the anti-tank shred, Also, being able to take down the neutral objectives pretty fast. I would say go and lock in the Luban, or at least learn him, but you've got to remember that if the enemy team are very agile, they can get into the back line. That's where it kind of tries to stuff her. Especially when my team doesn't have the greatest front line as well, right? Like, our real only front line is the lane, right? Like, going in with the Death on Sunset, just trying to create space for myself and my team to try and just, like, do the damage into the back line. But here, again, we're taking a team fight. You can see that Dion Wei and Yukio are all pushing. Fortunately for us, the jungler does go back, but however, we try and go back here. I'm trying to get onto them. I do have my flash in about 5 seconds. My jungler just kind of, like, don't know, farting around there. Doesn't decide to go for the Yukio, even though he's very low. I do try and get the rocket off onto him again, because I feel like if I got the rocket off, he probably would have died there, or at least been very, very low, and it would give the intel over to my jungle there, but he does go up to the top side of the map. He does go and try and 1v1 him. He does get the kill, and now he leaves and goes for the Crimson Golem. Lets the Vanguard try and get this topside turret, but now the enemy team are going to rotate. They're going to try and collapse onto him here. I don't think he escapes either, so again, just a poor decision. Poor decision of overstaying, right? Like, if you're in this part of the game and your team's going for a neutral objective and you've got waves needed to be cleared in many lanes, you just go, get the kill, retreat. Like, you've already got a Vanguard push that T2, right? Like, that's the best you can do, right? You should have just really just recalled. But now, look, obviously, again, Dion Wei going for the backdoor being here. I'm not too sure why he goes for the Azure Golem. Instead, he kind of just completely allows them to slip here. And this is where the big mistake is, guys. Look, if we watch this, he uses the Death on Sunset. He uses his ultimate rather than clear out the minions. So you can see here, he tries to use the Death on Sunset to keep himself alive. But unfortunately, the minions are there. He should have just moon slashed, hack slashed, just got them wiped out. And that's how we lost the game. I mean, that clear division, that clear kind of like lack of maybe awareness. Go into the Azure Golem rather than actually go in and seeing that there's 2 members of the enemy team running down. Awareness, guys. It's crucial. It's crucial in Honor of Kings. You can't just 1v9 in this game unlike other mobile MOBAs. You have to be aware. You have to play it like a team. And unfortunately for my team that time around, we didn't play that well as a team. Thank you very much for dropping by. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown of my gameplay as well, because I feel like this is something I'm going to do more just to kind of help people understand. So really breaking this down to kind of like the meat and potatoes of it, because this is going to be your general kind of like ranked gameplay, ranked experience anyway. So again, if you enjoy this, let me know in the comment section below. I will do more videos of this to do breakdowns of my defeats and how I lost, because I feel like that is still insightful, and I don't think a lot of creators do that as well. And then obviously on how we win for the win conditions and whatnot. But thank you very much, guys. Drop a sub down below if you've enjoyed this video, and catch you on the next one.